There are two lubrication points at each end of the swing arm gripper shaft, visible only when the swing arm is in the upper position. One of these is shown here. Delivery grippers require careful use of the oil can, as do delivery chains. Printers have a tendency to avoid oiling these parts because of the possibility of oil on the sheets. However, as these parts are constantly blasted by anti-set-off spray, they wear rapidly without oil. Care is the keynote in oiling. Care of the swing arm. On the GTO, the swing arm has to operate in close proximity to the dampening system. As moisture is constantly evaporating from dampers, the environment in which the swing arm operates is extremely humid. In fact, water drips from the dampening system usually find their way to the swing arm. A simple way of avoiding corrosion is to spray the swing arm with a water repellent. They're readily available and are often used for starting cars in wet weather. Spraying once a week should prevent corrosion in the swing arm. We see here movement to the upper position so that coverage is complete. To repair a corroded part on a swing arm requires dismantling of the sides of the press, which is costly in the extreme. This can be avoided by using this simple procedure. Care of printing cylinders. All GTO cylinders have special corrosion-resistant coatings. These coatings are very thin, 0.05 of a millimetre, and need care in maintenance and cleaning. Particles of dirt or other deposits can't be tolerated on printing cylinders. Here we see the beginning of these, which will cause high spots that translate into plate wear, print pressure spots, and low spots in the blanket. Dirt must be removed using either a damp sponge or a solvent-soaked cloth. Often, it's a good idea to use both. Maintenance of the anti-set-off spray system is essential because there's a natural tendency for these spray systems to clog due to condensation in the bowl or lines. This is caused by temperature or humidity changes. We require each spray nozzle to give an equal amount of spray so that the sheet is free from set-off. It's imperative that the bowl, the lines and the nozzles be cleaned out using compressed air at least once a fortnight, more frequently where temperature and humidity is high. Once the hoses have been disconnected from the bowl is lowered and emptied of spray powder. Compressed air is then used to remove any residue. The top of the bowl unit is then disconnected so that both it and the lines can be blown out. It should be remembered the spray nozzles never clog uniformly. One will be totally blocked while another is hardly blocked at all, resulting in patches of set-off due to uneven spray deposits on the sheet. The air passages and the top of the bowl unit are cleaned out. Then the compressed air gun is placed in the lines. Here, the evidence of powder clogging is obvious. The unit is then reassembled. Removal of spray powder from delivery. Cleaning the delivery is like washing the dishes. It has to be done. And as soon as it's completed, the process of soiling recommences. Heavy deposits of spray should be removed with a small brush. This prevents a cloud of powder being blown up, as would be the case if compressed air were used initially. Having removed the greater amount of spray, the operator can now use compressed air to remove spray from inaccessible areas. This will do the job and is a worthwhile alternative to premature wear in delivery components due to powder particles wearing away the working faces of bearings, grippers and chains. A vacuum cleaner is an ideal cleaning device because it prevents the cloud of spray occurring, as is the case with compressed air. Finally, a word about cleanliness during wash-ups. Probably no other operation has the same capacity for mess making. Too much enthusiasm as you pour wash-up solution on the rollers can result in this. Never exceed the amount of solution that rollers can carry and always use a moderate speed. Now let's see how it should be done. A good idea is to wet the wash-up blade with solution prior to placing it against the inking roller, so that ink residue flows down the blade and doesn't ball at the top of the blade. Add a small amount of wash-up solution to the inking rollers and then wind the blade until gentle pressure is noticed against the roller. Notice that only a minimum amount of wash-up solution is being applied to the inking rollers. At the conclusion of wash-up, make sure all printing cylinders are spotless. This now brings us to the dampening system. After removal of dampers for cleaning, ensure that the steel rollers are gummed so that they remain water receptive. We hope you found this presentation helpful in maintaining your GTO. Remember, if you look after your press, it repays you with trouble-free operation.